Good morning, this is Matthew from Big Cedar Farm. I'm building a new paddock for the sheep here in this area. So the sheep have ran through this area about 30 days ago. So we've had 30 days of regrowth in this particular paddock that we're about to build. And I just want to show you a couple things. So this is ryegrass here. It's already kind of gone into the seeding phase. But this area here was some old hay, and generally when you bring hay in and feeding, normally has a lot of ryegrass seed in it. And so that's where all this came from, because we don't have a whole lot here on the property. Like I said, it's gone to seed, so some of the nutritional quality is, it's going down a little bit. However, I did it on purpose. I wanted the seed head here so the sheep can help spread the seed out further in the pasture. So this is 30 days worth of regrowth here on this property. And, we don't have high fertility here on this particular farm, but we are rebuilding. Here we have a lot of, there's a bluegrass in here. Little hop clover with the yellow flowers. Sheep just love it. Got some broadleaf forbs here. A good mixture of forbs running through here. There's a little bit of vetch, be this material here. This would be a vetch, and it has already gone to flowering stage. There we go. So it's going to have some seed that they can spread. This is a barley here. Sheep are not, or our sheep anyway, are not big fans of it. They'll eat a little bit of the leaf matter that's on it, but they'll leave the rest of it. So currently I'm not a big fan of this, or I said barley, or a foxtail, maybe a type of foxtail, variety of foxtail. So I'm not a big fan of this year. We have an abundance of it. Sheep will eat it a little bit, but they're not big fans. Okay. Here we go. You got some greenbrier. Sheep will come in, they'll strip that down, eat the leaves. And so, we've got pretty good stand, maybe knee high, 16, 18 inches high on it. And so this is 30 days worth of regrowth. When we grazed them in here, we grazed it down pretty short, probably, maybe 6 inches. And so we just let regrowth over the past 30 days, or 30, 34 days, somewhere in there. And so we're gonna put them back in here, and we're just gonna graze them on down the lane there. Okay, so I'm gonna be setting up the fence where we are running the Premier One poly net. So this is an area that they've been in. We've been cleaning up around some junk and equipment area. They've grazed it pretty low. There's a lot of forbs in here I wanted them to knock down to allow our warm season grasses such as Bermuda to come on. And so that's what we did. That's why this grazed down a little tighter than normal, probably 4 or 5 inches. As you can see, this is what they're leaving. They don't like that barley or foxtail. I believe it's barley though. They're not big fans of it. They'll eat a little bit of leaves but leave the rest of it. And so this is a good example, because earlier, about 30 days ago, this is about what I grazed it to originally, about 4 to 6 inches. And so I'm going to tilt the camera sideways and back up a skosh. So a lot more forage matter here than here. So that's our plan. I'm going to rotate it back. So that's what we're going to do. Just a lot of good forage. I wish they would eat this a little bit, but there's not a whole lot of leaf matter. This is a plant, and so 1, 2 leaves. I see some that may have 3 leaves, so there's not a lot there at this stage in the game. When we caught it earlier on, they grazed it low when it was young vegetative stage, but once it's gone to a seed head, a little more maturity, it doesn't have the energy and nutrients that the sheep want. And so, but nonetheless, we're going to turn them in here, and I'm going to give you guys an update. I'll try to get a video tomorrow, see what we have. This here they will just consume it. You know, this, I'll try to grab a clip. This may be one of the first plants that they come to eat it. And this is that dog fennel. It generally grows where there's a lot of compaction. And so since this is kind of a farm restoration project, there's a lot of compaction going on. And it looks like we had a duck somewhere out here. Anyway, so that's what we've got going. I'm going to set the fence up, turn the sheep in, and I'll grab a clip as they're coming through into this new area, and I'll try to get a video of it and add it on to this one. So we do have quite a bit of clover this year. We've got a lot of white Ladino clover. Our sheep are not big fans of it. They eat it a little bit, but as long as they can kind of spread the seed out throughout the pasture, that's what really counts. So a lot of white Ladino. We have a lot of crimson clover. Don't confuse this with red clover. This is crimson clover. The red clover actually looks a little more like the white Ladino. So this would be a white clover. The red clover has a little more of a pink tinge to it. It's not red, such as this crimson. It's more of a pink color, and the stems or the leaves of a red clover will have a hairy, hair on the back of it. White clover's clean. It's very smooth. We don't have any white clover here on the property yet, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But just in a few square feet, we do have 3 different legumes. Like we have the white Ladino clover, we have a vetch, it's just common vetch here, and then you look over here and we've got the crimson clover here, and oh, here we go. This is little hop clover. So we actually have four clover species, 4 legumes, and just spread around the property. So sheep love this. They prefer this over the other clovers from what we've seen. But we've got clovers slowly spreading across our pasture. We used to do very intensive rotational grazing. We had about 40-50 sheep. Just last year we sold them in the fall before the drought came, and so we kind of transitioned into a white Dorper, smaller flock to build it up. But because of the intensive rotational grazing that we did with the sheep, we have been able to spread this clover across the pasture in big patches. Just to give you an example, clover establishment first started right here. It was right on this tree, this knoll. We had a lot of clover, and you can see it here. The variety, primarily three species that I mentioned. It started here, and through rotational grazing, within a couple years, we spread it over here. Now it's moving down the hill there into that lower patch and across the pasture. And so little by little, with the rotational grazing, we're able to spread the seeds of our clover legume species. And so that's excellent. It helps provide nitrogen for our pasture, cut down on input expenses. We had a pile of hay here. I need to spread this back out over the pasture, but Bermuda's coming through it. This is high fertility here, and no telling what you'll find once you start digging, but good soil conditions below. I can spread it, or I can turn our chickens in and let them do the job for me. Cut down on my time and labor. Anyway, so this is what we have. Like I said, I'm gonna put the fence up right quick. I'll turn the sheep in and get a video of that. See y'all in just a few minutes. All right, we've got the sheep moved in. We can observe what they're eating. This ewe, she's going after the ryegrass. A little variety. The older ewe over there, she's kind of picking around. And this does rather show that they're content. A lot of ryegrass, that's what they're going after at the moment. they'll nibble on Buttercup. She's doing a little bit there. They're not the biggest fans of it. I think it depends on maturity. And I know, you know, there's a toxin that resides in the Buttercup. So when I say Buttercup, this is what I'm talking about, the yellow flowers here. It does have a toxin. I think from what I've observed, if they really don't have any kind of side effects, unless they eat a large quantity and they don't have a mixed diet. Fortunately, we've got a mixed diet on our property, and so they do nibble on it. You know, they'll take some flowers off or some leaf matter. But we've got enough other forage. We've never had any problems with the Buttercup. Sometimes they find the craziest things to reach into, which we know we shouldn't have this laying around, but it's going to the junk pile next week. So pretty good. They've, you know, they're not acting hungry. They're pretty content, which they should be. They've had plenty of forage to be eating on. That ewe there, she went after that greenbrier. All right, there's one of the lambs nibbling on the dog fennel that I mentioned. When I first let them in, kind of missed it, but three of the lambs, they went straight to the dog fennel pile at the base of this pole here. They grabbed a mouthful before going on. You know, sheep, they graze differently than cattle. Cattle will kind of stay in one space and eat down. You know, they'll grab big mouthfuls. Sheep, they kind of act a little bit like goats. They'll eat a little bit, they'll walk, grab another bite. There we go. They found the dog fennel. Yeah, there we go. From what I know, cattle, they do not like dog fennel, but our sheep will clean it up. And so if you have an issue with dog fennel on your farm, I would encourage some sheep. I've not fed goats. I've not had goats on it, so I don't know how they would be. And our ram is very territorial, which is all right. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Again, this is Matthew from Big Cedar Farm. Like and subscribe if you want. We primarily are, you know, practicing with sheep. That's what we use. We have sheep, we have hens, where we do egg production, we have ducks, we incubate, we do farm builds, just a little bit of everything. So with that, we're gonna sign off. Thank y'all for watching.